Hey Dreamers, it's the 8-Bit Insomniac here. I have not used that intro in a bloody long time, have I? Here we are, PPL Week 1, Season 3 in Division 2. I am back home, and this season we are definitely going for the title. But before we get into this video, I want to explain a couple reasons why I've been inactive. So the biggest one is a few days after uploading my Black Ops montage, my PC decided to kill itself. I haven't had the time nor money to try and fix it. However, my brother should be looking at it very soon, and hopefully we can figure out what the fuck's wrong with it. It died after a Windows update, and it was really frustrating because I really wanted to get back up to uploading. So that's one of the reasons why I have been absent. If you do not follow my Twitter or any form of social media, that's one of the reasons. I've also been incredibly ill over the last couple of weeks. I've had so many different things. Most recently I've had like a throat cold and an ear infection and conjunctivitis, so that has been super fun to deal with. I've also been spending a lot of time away with my family. I went to Centre Parks and down to Dorset for my mum and dad's birthday, which is a really fun time. So spending time with my family has been really nice. And just generally going out a bit more than I used to. So yeah, I've started to go out a lot more, which is cool. But anyway, I'm rambling at this point and it's completely irrelevant, but that's kind of why I've been inactive. I'm currently using my old brother's laptop, sorry. It's a piece of trash. It's really difficult to record with. I actually tried to record this video once before, but it actually died halfway through commentary, so fingers crossed this time it doesn't do such things. But anyway, as you can see on the screen, I'm facing Amazing Chi, Week 1, coach of the Newcrustle United. I'm going to go over both of our teams very quickly. I didn't have a time to make a team builder, nor a draft analysis, because my PC's dead and this friggin' laptop is awful. I've only just sorted out software on it today, so fingers crossed we can actually make some kind of videos. But I want to go through this quickly. So on the opposing team, his 11 mons consist of Clefable, Latios, Cabellion, Entei, Blastoise, Jolteon, Gliscor, Trevenant, Mark, Hitmonchan, Articuno, and on my squad I have Mew, Mamoswine, Crobat, Mega Scizor, Kingdra, Heatran, Miltank, Gastrodon, Cofagrigus, and Electabuzz. Looking at this man's team, Mamoswine puts in a hell of a lot of work. He hasn't really got many switch-ins to it, barring Air Balloon or Shocker Berry Cabellion, and Blastoise, physically defensive Blastoise. And Mew can set up on a lot of things. So my plan for this battle was kind of a Volt-turn core between Electabuzz and Crobat to set up with Mew as soon as the Clefable has gone down. I did expect the Clefable to make an appearance, whether it be, you know, unaware for set up Mew or for Magic Guard set up itself. Clefable was a very scary thing, and obviously I wanted to bring Mega Scizor to deal with it. I did bring Specially Defensive this week to kind of deal with Latios and Jolteon. Also Articuno as well. Articuno is a problem because two things are quad weak to Freeze Dry, both of which I didn't bring for that reason. I'm also bringing Miltank because Entei is a huge threat to my team. So I have to bring that physically defensive. It's also my rock setter for this week, which is super important because he is definitely going to be bringing that Articuno. It just does so much work to my team and I'm super scared of it. So Miltank is yet another freeze dry switch-in, which is nice. So yeah, that's my plan for this week. I basically anticipated Clefable, Articuno, and either Blastoise and Hitmonchan, because he's going to need some form of hazard removal. And then Entei, I definitely expected because it does a lot of work on my team and puts a lot of pressure on it. And then it gives him a switch into Mega Scizor as well. And then Latios as well, that's something I was anticipating. Something I didn't anticipate him bringing was the Gliscor, because I have so many answers to it. But he does end up bringing it, as you can see on Team Preview. Now, what he did bring was Entei, Articuno, Gliscor, Latios, Clefable, Blastoise, as you can see on the screen. So my game plan here is to lead with either Electabuzz or Crobat, see what my matchup is like, and go from there. Mew can set up on a lot of things, including Clefable and Blastoise, bearing the facts Clefable isn't unaware, of course. So I'm going to want to distinguish that as soon as I can. But I'm going to lead with Electabuzz here, so I'm just going to press play on my recording. I'm going to lead with Electabuzz here, predicting him to predict me to lead with Mamoswine, and him to lead with Blastoise. So I'm just waiting for my freaking recording to catch up with me. There we go. So Chi is going to be issuing a challenge, and I did get the nail on the head with that prediction. He is going to lead with his Blastoise as I lead with my Electabuzz. Now I'm going to make my a very aggressive play first turn and go straight for the Hidden Power Ice, predicting that Gliscor to come in. And this was a roll, and I didn't get it this time, but fun fact, we actually disconnected a few times. We had some connection issues, and in the first match I did end up getting the roll, which is really nice. So that means Gliscor went down turn 1 effectively. Obviously he can't switch out here because we wanted to recreate what happened in the original battles as fair as we could. So he's going to bring in Entei now to kind of revenge kill. But I have enough speed in this Electabuzz to outspeed Adamant Entei, so I am going to go for the Volt Switch. Had he had outsped me, he would have been Scarfed or Jolly, but I don't think he would have been Jolly because he's shiny, and that means he's more than likely carrying the Extreme Speed. So I'm going to switch into my Safe Switch, which is my Miltank. He's going to chew that Sacred Fire like a boss, and I'm not going to go for Body Slam here because I know the Blastoise is coming in. So I'm just going to take this as a free opportunity to set up my rocks and keep the pressure on Chi's side. So there are the rocks. Hopefully they're there to stay. I don't have my spin blocker this week. I couldn't find room for it. I didn't particularly think I'd need it, to be honest. But I'm going to make the aggressive switch here back into my Electabuzz, either predicting Rapid Spin or the Scald. Both of which I can take just fine, despite not having Eviolite. I do have the Expert Belt this week just for a little bit more damage on those super effective hits. I don't get burned, which is really nice, and I'm just going to go straight for the Volt Switch now that his ground immunity has gone. As in comes the Latios. I'm going to get the initiative on this switch, which is really, really nice for me, which means I can bring out my Mamoswine safely. And I do have Substitute on this Mamoswine, but I'm actually going to make the Ballsy prediction once more and go straight for the Earthquake on a Levitating Mon, which is kind of risky, but I've been predicting my opponent pretty good so far, so I'm going to go for the Earthquake here on the incoming Blastoise as predicted, and this is going to do a decent chunk. That's doing about 50%. And I'm going to pop a sub here just to see if he goes for the cheeky Rapid Spin. But unfortunately he just does go for the safe Scald. I'm forced to switch out here because Earthquake is a roll, and I want to keep this around later in the match in case there's a spooky setup Latios that I need to deal with. So I'm going to preserve my Mamoswine and go straight back out into... I'm going to go into my Mew, sorry. I thought I went into my Electabuzz here, but here I go into my Mew as he's going to go for the Scald. And that's not going to do much damage at all. No burns, which is really good for me. Really, really handy. And this is the part of the match where I take the opportunity to set up. I don't see the leftovers, so I assume this thing is Assault Vest, which means he's not going to be having Roar, which is really nice to me. He's going to go for the spin here, which is kind of annoying because it means Articuno can now come in for free, pretty much. So I'm just going to take this opportunity to set up a couple Calm Minds. And it's looking really good for me because he's not going to have Haze or Roar because of the Assault Vest, and if he did have some kind of phasing move it would be Dragon Tail, and because I'm behind a sub that's not going to affect me. As you can see there, Dark Pulse does not break my sub, which means I can just keep setting up on this thing. So right now we have a +2/+2 Mew, and things are looking very, very good. This Blastoise is set up fodder. I do have Roost on this as well, in case I'm feeling particularly low after a couple of substitutes. So a second Dark Pulse is finally going to break this thing sub. But yeah, at this point we are looking in a very solid position. He's going to withdraw here, not wanting me to go for another sub, which is a good play in hindsight. I probably should have clicked Psyshock here, but that's alright. He's going to switch into his Entei, obviously not affected by the rocks since he spun them away, but he is forced to go for Sacred Fire or Flare Blitz here and get rid of this thing sub because it is so problematic for him. I was surprised I didn't see Clefable come in, which does suggest that he is not unaware, he is a magic guard. So obviously Sacred Fire is gonna break the sub because, you know, that's a frickin' choice banded Entei, and that's gonna do a hell of a lot of damage to anything. Psyshock is gonna be able to take it out, which is really good for me. One of the biggest threats on his team has perished. Now the only thing that worries me is Latios. But he actually ends up going out into Articuno here, which kind of confused me. This confirms that he is a Scarf set, going for U-turn, or at least an offensive set because it did outspeed me, obviously. So it's going to be speed invested offensive. So that was something I put in the back of my mind for later in the battle. As he's going to go out to Latios here, as Psyshock is going to be doing decent damage, considering it's resisted. Now here he's going to go for the Draco and he's going to miss, which is really unfortunate. However, it wouldn't have killed unless he got a critical hit. It just meant, you know, I'd be at less health than I would be now, as I went for the Roost. But you're going to see the Draco connect here and it wouldn't have done 111 hit points of damage, which was what I was on before roosting. So that Draco miss might have mattered, but I'm going to go for the sub because he's going to have -2 attack now. And at +2 Spadef, I don't think another Draco will break the sub. He actually reveals Earthquake here, which is probably in prep for Heatran. I love running Earthquake, Latios, and OU myself. That doesn't break the sub because I'm physically defensive Mew and I'm going to go for Roost, getting some of that health back. And I believe I go for another substitute in a minute. After I get my lefties recovery, I'm pretty much back up to full, and Mew at this point pretty much just sweeps the rest of his team because there's nothing this Latios can do. I'm going to pop another sub here, I do believe. Mew putting in a hell of a lot of work, so now we're safely behind a sub. In hindsight, I probably could have just kept clicking Psyshock, to be honest, because at this point, you know, nothing can really OHKO me since the Entei is gone. Here, I could have pressed Psyshock last turn and Mew could have got another kill and would have been on top of the MVP race and the whole entire league, but unfortunately I got greedy and went for a Calm Mind. So Latios is going to kill itself to Life Orb Recall as I set up a Calm Mind. So we are +3/+3 and no sign of Unawakened Fable. So we are looking particularly good right now. Here is the Clefable in question. It's going to come out and it's going to take about 70% from the Psyshock, which is a hell of a lot. You don't often see that much damage happen to a Clefable in one turn. It's actually going to break the sub, surprisingly, but I suppose, you know, Earthquake did help with that. I'm not going to go for sub here because there's no point really. I'm at +3 defense, special defense, and he doesn't have any attacking threats left. He just has special attackers, which are his Articuno and his Blastoise, I do believe, if I remember correctly. Here is the Articuno, and he's going to come in here and go for some Hurricanes, I believe. So the first one's going to connect, and it's going to do pitiful damage. It's going to do about 15%, if that. Psyshock is going to do, again, about 70%. Articuno is so fat, it's ridiculous. But he's going to miss the second Hurricane. I don't think that mattered too much. Maybe if he got the confusion, he might have, you know, killed the Mew if he got a crit. Maybe he would have taken out the Mew. But we are 6-1 up, and his last Mon is his Blastoise, which is very low health, and Psyshock is going to be able to take the victory. So Mew getting 4 kills and pretty much sweeping the team. I'm incredibly happy with how this game turned out. I did not expect it to go as well as it did. I made a lot of ballsy predictions that did pay off. I never really had to make safe plays because I just had so many answers to his things on his team. I was really surprised I did not see Unaware Fable, but I'm not going to complain. Hopefully we'll get some more airtime with Crobat Scissor next week, as they didn't bloody do anything this match for me. Again, not complaining. It's nice to see, you know, a game plan work out in your favour. So we started off the season with a 6-0, which I was not expecting at all. Chief's team is extremely scary, but apparently I just executed my game plan well, and that happened. So yeah. Anyway, guys, next week we are facing Herdia Bremen, coached by Evelyn, otherwise known as H2O Drink It. She's got a very scary team. She's also got a Bunnelby, so I'm excited to see what she will do with that. But yeah, we're facing Herdia Bremen next week, and I'm excited. I'm so glad to be back in the PPL, honestly. It's made me so happy. It's just so nice being back somewhere where you belong. But anyway, that's enough rambling from me. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.